Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a very late, it's 11:30 p.m. UK time, but I've just finished off a stream, played a little bit of Call of Duty Warzone, and we got 3 wins tonight, and a really spicy kind of end win. So thanks very much to everybody that came by to those streams. But we've got something important MCOC related to talk about, and I will be doing a little bit further dissection of this in the MCN tomorrow, but I thought I'd do this video and kind of put it out now. Champion attributes and rebalancing. Kabam John. Do you remember Kabam John? Well, he's back, and now in the teams they're working on the champion attributes and rebalancing. And this has been very quiet for a long time. Very quiet for a very long time. So we want to find out what's being worked on. Kabam John is saying that there's been a lot of chatter about how champions reworks and updates have changed, in that they haven't really, as in a negative way, of course. We are still approaching reworks the same way we always have, and we want to re-establish our goals and parameters of these champ revamp efforts, as in make them good, not make them bang average. And the goals have been give champions an update that will keep them feel more meaningful, especially for newer players who usually have fewer options to deal with the challenges, and to increase relative sense of excitement when these champs are pulled from a crystal. And that's the thing is, it's all about having, if you have a quintessential character that you really want to get in game and you pull it, and then it's like you may think as a new player, oh, this is really good, but in fact it's not, then that could be a bit of an issue. Like, I love the character Superior Iron Man. I've got a few comic books of Superior Iron Man, all that story arc, and it was just very much disappointing when we came to this game, I came to this game and found that the champion is still, after nearly 7 to nearly 8 years, has not been reworked in any kind of way, fashion or form. So that's been rather disappointing, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same about several characters as well, especially their meaning and also relevance and potency in game. Many champions that get reworks are obtained regularly in the early game, especially those with 1-star and 2-star versions. I mean, there's difference to this in that, Colossus. While it may feel like eons ago that many of you use 2-star champions, they're still regularly used by new players. For these champions, one of the priorities is to keep them feeling simple and easy to understand. But one thing that I would like to find out is, with those stats that Kabam say, like new players, does that reflect people that have re-rolled and made second accounts? Because that's a very different type of stat, because then there's a more experienced player that's kind of going, okay, well, I'm using these particular champions, or I'm just using them in things like Arena. If they're using them just in Arena, then that's giving different data to Kabam. It needs to be all about questing, higher level questing, interaction with more difficult content, where a lot of the veteran players are, and a lot of the larger amount of volume of people are grinding through at an early stage in Act 5. So those things need to be taken into consideration. And that's all well and said, but the update, the update is important. So far, the team has been putting a ton of effort and time into new champion attribute systems. We've managed to get through 200 plus champions. If you want to see where your favorite champion landed, I don't really agree with a lot of the way that the champions, the attribute system works. It doesn't take into a full consideration of things like suicide masteries versus non-suicide mastery setup in general. In any case, like, it's just going, it looks like opinion pieces with a little bit of data to back it up, but that's down to anyone else what they kind of feel about it. But the reason that we kind of skip over all of that stuff, and we hope for decent attribute things in the future, is champions that are getting confirmed buffs. And champions that are getting confirmed buffs are August. Juggernaut is getting rework. In the upcoming 36.1 update, we are releasing Juggernaut's brand new update, a full rework. This time focusing on aggressive, fast-paced attacker kit, aiming to make you feel more like your Juggernaut and an unstoppable force. That sounds good. That sounds really good, especially if you're playing into stuff like Rhino, or Colossus in general, not Colossus, Juggernaut. The Juggernaut that I used to watch back in the day, I can't remember if it was if I watched it in, I want to say it was like a Spider-Man cartoon. And was it an X-Men cartoon? It's either one of the two. Part of me feels like it was Juggernaut featured in Spider-Man cartoon more than he did the X-Men cartoon, but I could be wrong on that one. In any case, it looked like it was a badass then. Should be a badass now, and it's not. So if you've got a 6-star Juggernaut or even a 5-star, good news is on the way. September season Ant-Man rework. At last, finally, coming out to near you in September will be recently all new but somewhat familiar Ant-Man kit, keeping much of the old but adding new flavour with pin particles, new debuffs, and a way more poison all day long. Good. Expect to stack a ton of debuffs and have much more consistent glancing Ant-Man. Ant-Man. I went Jamaican and Ant-Man. But yeah, like that's important. I'd like to see more of a expansion of the character, so it kind of like gets big in certain parts, but I don't think Kabam would do that. But it would be nice for the animation to see something cool kind of balloon up to, I don't know, a Juggernaut or Sentinel size with Ant-Man, and as well, retain the, going small and doing those particular things. So that's good. I'm pretty excited for Ant-Man, especially because, we were really hoping that was the buff. Instead, we've had a Guillotine rework twice that was just disappointing since she won the vote. Don't know how she won the vote. I'm sure a lot of people that did vote for her are kicking themselves now because they're not really interested in some of the stuff the champion had to offer. In any case, moving on. October is a break month, transitioning. We have 1 month with no update. While we would love to try to deliver more reworks, we need the extra development time to ensure that the process and any other upcoming reworks have sufficient time needed. Okay, fine. I get it. This is what is important about this, is this future communication. I think if Kabam put this stuff out more regularly, like if they went back at the start of January, here's an update, here's what we plan for these months, it gets players hyped about this, and it feels like they're part of the ship, part of the crew. The biggest problem we've had in the latter months is like going, okay, we're getting the Double X-Force one here, we're not getting this one here. It's just like creating this hype. So it's good since, the last time we got this hype, the champion rebalancing, that we're getting it. Just the second part of this is delivering a decent buff, something that's been a bone of contention, I think, for a long time. What next? November. And this is all about champions being rebalanced. This is one of the biggest concerns. So November, Black Cat and Scorpion. In a nutshell, to save you from this paragraph, I like here, both characters feature some spicy damage potential. When you line things up right, both characters appear to be doing well so far across our other pieces of content, and as a result, we're happy with the way they've landed in the battle realm, and are going to leave these two Spidey spinsters as is in their place. We will be putting our time into a champion rework and overhaul instead. It will be Rocket, so that's good. It means that these champions are not going to be nerfed. So buff for Ant-Man, buff for Rocket, buff for Juggernaut, and yes, that's really good news. Really happy to hear that. And November. What's in November? It's been a long time coming since Rocket has seen some love. Did he see any kind of love? So he will be our target for the upcoming November build for my birthday. Lovely. We're receiving a full rework. Expect to see him messing around with a new scrap resource, an update to his shield mechanic, and some of his classic critting power. Nice. Critting power. Because he's a critter. Is he a critter? I don't know. But yeah, all of this is incredibly good news. And yeah, it's good to have these particular little bits of communication and Kabam letting us know, what the score is, and just kind of feel part of the ship, part of the crew. That's really, the main thing I like. That's what I want to see from Kabam. It's just these little things going like, oh yeah, just to let you know, we are thinking about buffing this champion and buffing this champion. Gets in front of the leakers, and as well, kind of the biggest problem with having leaks is that there's no extra sustenance. Like we've had champion leaks for August put out. I mean, we know about one. We know the looks of these champions, but we don't know much about stuff from Kabam. Why have they put these champions in? What's the reasoning behind it? So we just got leaks. The same way it's like, oh, here's the buffs for these particular months, and here's the leaks. It's like, well, what's the substance? And this is the great thing about it. Like, okay, good. We've got Juggernaut, Ant-Man, and we've got Rocket, and we've got a little bit of a blurb as to like the sustenance behind it. What do Kabam plan to do? How do they plan to tackle it? There's going to be unstoppable force for Juggernaut. There's going to be more of the pin particles elements for Ant-Man, as well as a thing with pin particles, debuffs and whatnot, and glancing, and lots of stuff that's going to do damage. And Rocket is a case we've got more of like just an explanation of how a new scrap resource is going to like be important, maybe in the same way like combos are built into Aegon, but at least it gives us again sustenance and interest as to what Kabam plan to do with these champions. But that is really it, ladies and gentlemen. That has been the little video there. A bit of a late one. I need to get to bed, and also not get to bed without kind of like, waking up which I probably will end up doing. But yeah, got to get to bed. We'll be doing more content tomorrow. The MCN is going to be out, so look out for that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure to check out some other content, which will be located on screen in the little boxes there, and a little bit more dissection in the MCN tomorrow, and lots of fun, funky stories. And we'll see you then. Cheers, everybody. Have a good evening, day, and whatever. Bye bye for now.